Now on CoastTV News.
It's a frigid start to our Friday. Wind chills are in the single digits and teens, tracking beautiful sunshine. All eyes on the weekend with the threat of snow. The latest next.
From snow to deep freeze, we look at the dangerous weather impacting the Northeast.
Making county government more accessible. How a group of volunteers aims to keep the public involved in Sussex County politics.
Money talks underway. Rehoboth Beach commissioners set to review the 2027 fiscal year budget. Plus, dog rules are also under the microscope.
This is CoastTV News Today.
Good morning and happy Friday. I'm Grace Eckerly.
And I'm Elisa Weber. Matt Pensick has the day off. Matt has some very fun Friday plans. He's going to see Matt and my beloved Cleveland Cavaliers. I am very jealous. Going to go play those 76ers.
And that's, you know what? That's a fun Friday plan. He's bringing his son.
It'll be fun if the Cavs win.
I'm sure it will be. You know a lot more about that than I do.
Well, Chris is hoping Matt doesn't have a fun time because, as we know,
there's a little
Chris
rivalry.
There's a
little
really
heated rivalry going
Philly
on right
sports.
now. Yes, Chris is a diehard Philly sports fan. And Chris, we actually asked you around this time yesterday how you were feeling, if you were afraid of penguins going into that Flyers game on Thursday night.
Oh, Grace, why did you have to ask? Yeah, 5-game losing streak. We lost last night, so hopefully I can break the streak tomorrow when I go to the game against the Rangers. But yeah, hope Matt has a good time out there and he has some good food in South Philly. As we take a live look into Cambridge, 24 degrees. We have starry skies, nice cold, dry start to our day. We're at 22 in Long Neck, 21 Harrington, 23 in Georgetown. But check out these wind chills. It feels like 10 degrees in Rehoboth, 12 in Dagsboro, 9 in Harrington, and 13 in Laurel. That's all thanks to a northwest wind gusting to 24 in Indian River Inlet, 21 in Salisbury. Now we're going to continue to see that west to northwest wind flow at least through the morning. And then we'll see more of a southwest wind through the afternoon. We can see pretty clear and dry through most of the area. This clipper system in the upper Great Lakes region, that's going to swing through tomorrow and bring a brief round of showers through the middle part of the day. Enjoy the sunshine. We'll gradually warm and thaw out from this bitterly cold start. And we are tracking the threat of some light snow over the weekend. There's those wind chills remaining in the teens through at least the morning, and then we'll bump those wind chills into the mid to upper 20s as temperatures rise into the mid to upper 30s through the afternoon under mostly sunny skies. I'll have the latest snowfall track and totals coming up in my full forecast here in a little bit.
Thank you, Chris. And that's our top story this hour. The brutal cold that Chris has just mentioned. A dangerous snowstorm is ripping across the Northeast, causing whiteout conditions and pileups on highways.
NBC's Emily Akita shows us how some places can expect snow and others a very deep freeze.
A parade of snowstorms pounding northern parts of the country and turning travel treacherous. Near whiteout conditions in Indiana, making it difficult to navigate intersections and toll booths.
They said 12 inches. This looks like 2 feet to me.
Police in South Bend responding to hundreds of calls from drivers trapped in snow. A 30-vehicle pileup sent tractor-trailers careening off the road Wednesday. A similar tangled mess seen on I-90 in Pennsylvania today, prompting a massive EMS response. You can see the aftermath of a head-on collision in a snowy Chicago suburb between a bus carrying 10 kids and a car. Police, who have not said what caused the crash, say the driver of the car died. Residents in Niles, Michigan,
I have never in my life seen this much snow,
are now digging out for more than 16 inches of snow, totally obscuring sidewalks and roads.
We haven't seen snow like this in a while. Visibility was not good. People were driving slow if they were out at all.
The winter wallop closed schools in Buffalo today.
This is what you in for.
While in nearby Toronto, there was a ground stop as crews worked to clear the snowy airfield. Watch as this plane lands in blustery conditions at this New York airport. For the eastern third of the U.S., a bitter cold is now taking hold. Temperatures plunged more than 20 degrees since yesterday in places like Chicago, Cleveland, and Nashville. In New York City, officials tonight are urging people to limit time outdoors in this brutal blast of winter.
Delaware Senate President pro tempore David Cicola announced he will not seek re-election this year, ending a legislative career that began in 1990.
Cicola is currently the longest-serving member of the Delaware General Assembly. He cited education reform, civil rights, and gun safety among his accomplishments.
Cicola said his remaining priorities include updating Delaware's school funding formula and addressing health care and energy costs before the legislative session ends on June 30th. Delaware Democratic leaders praised his decades of steady leadership and lasting impact on the state.
Delaware Governor Matt Meyer saying in part, quote, Senator Dave Cicola is a leader whose steady presence and thoughtful approach have helped shape public service in our state for a generation. He leads with heart as much as he does with principle, end quote.
Governor Matt Meyer announced he has nominated Joe Sheehan as the next president of the Delaware State Board of Education. According to the governor's office, Sheehan was deeply involved in advancing the administration's priorities around education, workforce development, and opportunities for Delaware's children. His work focused on bringing stakeholders together towards modernizing school funding, strengthening pathways from education to careers, and ensuring public systems are responsive to families and communities.
Happening tonight, the Sussex County Republican Party is welcoming the 2026 election cycle with a public gathering. Party leaders say the event is meant to discuss some main focuses for the year. It's taking place from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Finn's Oyster Bar and Grill.
It's important to note the Delaware Democratic Party is one seat away from securing a 2/3 supermajority in the state house. This comes after Republican State Representative Rich Collins announced his retirement at the end of his term. If a Democratic candidate takes his seat, the party would hold 28 out of the 41 positions in the state house. Republican Doug Conaway, who runs Douglas Builders, and Democrat Ryan Stuckey, owner of a coffee shop in Dagsboro, have filed for that position. And all of this information and what the state constitution says regarding a 2/3 supermajority can be found on our website, CoastTV.com.
A group called Eyes on Sussex County Council held an informational meeting Thursday for new members. This organization sends volunteers to county council meetings to condense the info into a weekly digest for people who live in Sussex County to use to catch up with what they may have discussed in the meetings if they cannot attend. With big decisions being made over developments such as Atlantic Fields, the organization says this helps people engage with county politics.
You see an empty council chamber. It's kind of stark, right? There they are sitting up there doing their job and nobody is paying any attention. So, civic engagement is an important thing.
People interested in attending county council to write notes for the digest can visit the Sussex Preservation Coalition's website.
New this morning, fee and dog season changes are possible in Rehoboth Beach. First commissioners are set to discuss the draft budget for fiscal year 2027. That could include changes to certain court fees. City leaders will gather at a special budget meeting at 9 a.m. to discuss a proposed ordinance that is expected to be presented at the commissioners' regular meeting at 2 p.m. According to the possible changes, dogs would be allowed on the beach from September 16th through May 14th. This is opposed to the current October 1st through April 30th dog beach season.
And we are now taking a live look at Washington, D.C. this Friday morning. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado gifted her Nobel Peace Prize to President Trump during her visit to the White House on Thursday. And this just in, the visit comes as she seeks to position herself in Venezuela's future leadership now that former authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro is arrested and is in U.S. jail.
NBC's Alice Barr shows us how the gift comes as President Trump continues to manage turmoil around the globe.
Closing out an eventful week on the world stage, President Trump is now in possession of a Nobel Peace Prize presented to him by Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado.
And a recognition for his unique commitment with our freedom.
She told Fox News the gift is on behalf of the people of Venezuela.
He deserves it.
The president called it a wonderful gesture of mutual respect, though it is symbolic, with the Nobel Institute saying the prize cannot be transferred. Machado's visit comes amid uncertainty over her role in Venezuela's future. Following the U.S. ouster of authoritarian leader Nicolas Maduro, President Trump said he did not believe Machado had the respect to lead. Florida Republican lawmakers hoping she'll prove otherwise.
She's the legitimate leader of the opposition in Venezuela. She proved it. She earned it.
President Trump has said the U.S. would run Venezuela until a safe transition can be made, and praised interim president and Maduro loyalist Delcy Rodriguez.
She's somebody that we've worked with very well.
Citing her support this week of a U.S. sale of Venezuelan oil, while U.S. forces seized another oil tanker linked to Venezuela that Homeland Security says was illegally defying sanctions. All that as President Trump is closely monitoring tensions in Iran, noting the Iranian regime backed off planned executions of protesters after the president warned the U.S. could take action. U.S.-based human rights activists say more than 2,600 people have died in the crackdown on anti-government protesters, and the White House says all options remain on the table. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Happening today back here at home, leaders in Bethany Beach could vote on money to support a flooding and drainage study. According to the agenda for the council meeting set for 2 p.m., leaders could discuss and vote on possibly approving $50,000 to match the requirement needed for the surface water matching planning grant. Town documents say the grant focuses on a Bethany West flooding and draining study.
New this morning, BB Healthcare is honoring the legacy of Martin Luther King Jr. with a day of service in Sussex County. BB Healthcare's R. Randall Rollins Center for Medical Education will host the free event at 9 a.m. on Monday, January 19th at the BB Primary Care in Longneck. Organizers say the event will include free healthcare screenings, on-site appointment scheduling, pet therapy with paws, service animals, and complimentary hair services for children.
And we're just getting started here on this hour of CoastTV News Today.
Coming up, solution to shore erosion, how leaders in Chincoteague are trying to combat damage.
Plus, events to honor Corporal Snook. What's taking place this weekend to continue to support the family of Delaware State Trooper.
And police state accreditation acquired when all departments in Delaware must earn the recognition. And there we have First Alert meteorologist Chris Mastrobuono working in our weather station, hopefully working on warmer temperatures. We'll check in with him about this cold Friday.
Good Friday morning, Del Mar. Friday is here, but so is some bitterly cold air stepping out the door this morning. 23 degrees in Lewis. We have starry skies out there greeting us, but also this bitterly cold air. 23 in Bethany. We're at 24 in Cambridge. When you factor in the wind, it feels like 10 in Harrington, 11 in Lewis and Bethany Beach as those winds continue to gust anywhere between about 15 to 25 miles an hour out of the west-northwest. Where we'll remain clear, sunny, and dry through the afternoon today as we top out in the mid to upper 30s. We'll see more of a southwest wind kick in throughout the afternoon, and we are tracking some snow over the weekend. We'll have a brief shower midday tomorrow, slightly milder. I'll have the latest on the snow Sunday coming up here in minutes.
Thank you, Chris. The Dagsboro, Ellendale, and Selbyville police departments earned state accreditation from the Delaware Police Accreditation Commission after completing a review process that included on-site inspections, police and procedure reviews, plus interviews with department members. House Bill 206 requires all Delaware police agencies to be accredited by 2028. Currently, 64% of state police agencies are accredited, including 12 nationally accredited agencies and 20 accredited through the state program.
I wish Matt Pensig was here for this. We know he loves his cookies. Last week, rumors began swirling on social media that Crumble is developing a line of donuts. That's the Utah-based company telling USA Today that they are, in fact, testing donuts. That doesn't necessarily mean in stores that they'll be selling them anytime soon or even maybe ever. Crumble says it doesn't have any plans just quite yet to launch those.
Spotify announced it's raising the price of its services by $1. That means premium plans are going from $12 to $13 a month. It's the same for students who will see their monthly bills go from $6 to $7. And if you have Spotify's Duo or Family plans, those are going up by $2 a month. The price hikes are set to take effect next month.
I mean, we're in for plenty of sunshine for our Friday, and we'll slowly begin to warm up through the afternoon in the 30s after this bitterly cold start. Tracking a brief round of showers tomorrow, but then all eyes are at the coast for potentially some snow into Sunday. I'll have the latest on that when CoastTV News Today continues.
The time is now 6:18, and we are taking a live look outside at Lewis this morning. Chris, a very cold Friday morning. If you are heading to work early or outside early, give your car a chance to warm up.
Oh yeah, this is if you're lucky enough to have one of those heated seats, this is certainly the morning for that, because we are dealing with some bitterly cold air across the area this morning. 24 degrees right now in Laurel. Sunrise at 7:18 this morning. We're at 22 in Long Neck, 22 Redden, 23 in Salisbury. More importantly, those wind chills, boy, it feels like 11 in Rehoboth, 12 in Long Neck, 10 in Harrington, and 11 in Salisbury. We continue to see gusts anywhere between 26 miles an hour in Indian River Inlet, 13 in Seaford, 24 in Georgetown. Now we have a gale warning up through about 10 a.m. this morning off the Delaware coast. That will likely be downgraded to a small craft advisory, and we do have small craft advisories up through the Chesapeake Bay that run through late Saturday afternoon. We're going to continue to see plenty of sunshine through the day today. Clouds will increase late tonight as this weak clipper system pushes across the northeast and kind of grazes us with a little round of showers tomorrow, at least through the midday time frame. It's going to be very brief, and then we focus our attention on that coastal storm threat as we go into Sunday afternoon through Sunday evening. Highs today 37 Milford to 37 in Rehoboth Beach, 39 in Seaford, 37 Easton to 39 in Vienna. It wouldn't surprise me to see someone touch the 40-degree mark here across portions of Worcester County, Accomack County as we go into the afternoon. Clouds will increase through the evening and overnight, so not as cold into Saturday morning with the southwest wind, and increasing clouds will dip into the upper 20s to lower 30s. And then there's that brief shower late tomorrow morning into the midday time frame. Could yield some damp conditions, but most of the day is dry for the peninsula as we see those winds continue out of the west today, and then they'll shift out of the southwest tonight into Saturday, and that's going to help bump us up into the 40s tomorrow. Wouldn't even surprise me to see a 50-degree temperature on the board across the peninsula tomorrow afternoon. Then the coastal low. We're going to see that system develop off the southeast coast, push to our southeast, and we're going to be on the northwest portion of this precipitation shield. The heaviest precipit's going to stay offshore, but we're going to have a period of light snow, it looks like, across the peninsula after about 3 o'clock on Sunday through about 10. But generally speaking, this is going to be a light snow for the area, coating to an inch for most of Sussex County, Kent, on through the midshore. 1 to 2 potentially from Ocean City on points south and east across the area. Back into next week, it's another blast of Arctic air. Here we go again, and we're going to struggle to get out of the 20s as we go into Tuesday of next week. Mostly sunny skies, and we stay dry through Martin Luther King into the early part of next week, and then we bounce back up to 43 degrees by next Wednesday. But overall, we're looking very cold here over the next 7 to 10 days.
Thank you, Chris. Well, the Newcastle DMV remains closed in Delaware after Corporal Matthew Tysnook was shot and killed there in December.
NBC's Tim Furlong has the latest on what the community can do to give back to the family of Corporal Matthew Tysnook.
Flowers for Corporal Snook still outside the main doors of the Newcastle DMV location. Some drivers still showing up for inspections and other services, only to find the doors still locked and signs directing them to their Delaware City location. DelDOT tells me that the facility won't reopen in January, and while they wouldn't give me specifics, they do tell me when it does reopen, customers are going to find some security enhancements.
That's my main concern, is that my employees were okay. The first thing I asked them when they called was, "Are you okay?" And get out.
Ed owns the hot dog truck outside of the DMV and said the call from his employees during the shooting December 23rd was as scary as you'd imagine it would be, but he, like so many others, now looking forward to the DMV reopening sooner rather than later. The owner of the food truck says obviously his pain doesn't compare in any way to that of the Snook family, but he says he's hurting financially. This is his only truck. Moving it is not an option, and he says he also really worries about his employees who need their paycheck.
Anybody who loses a paycheck for a month, not many people can survive that. It's employees and vendors, and it's a trickle-down effect.
When he does reopen, Ed plans to do a fundraiser for the Snook family. And speaking of fundraisers,
it was such a loss. We all felt it.
You still have time to get to Luigi's Cafe Pizza and Pasta in Hocus, Delaware, where they're giving half their proceeds tonight to the Snook family. The corporal was a regular here, and when he learned of his death, the owner knew right away he would step up to help his family.
Yeah, he would come in every other Saturday or so and pick up some food for the family. Such a nice guy, just a genuine good guy, and just especially that he has a baby girl. That really got me because I just got a couple kids myself.
We will keep you updated on the DMV situation, and we will let you know when we learn of a reopening date. Tim Furlong, WRDE Coast TV News.
The Rehoboth Beach Barbell Club hosting an event honoring Trooper Snook. According to their Facebook page, the Lift in Honor takes place this Saturday, January 17th. That'll be from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., bringing people together through powerlifting and fitness challenges. The club says all participants donate directly to the official fundraiser supporting Corporal Snook's young family.
And on Sunday, the Blue Line Network is having an event to honor Corporal Snook. The video you see now is from the event they did in Newark earlier this month. The event will take place at Hudson Fields in Milton. Cars will be directed through a designated area where volunteers will place a memorial sticker on the rear window of each car. There is no charge for that sticker, but donations are requested. Organizers say 100% of donations will go directly to the Snook family.
And after the break on Coast TV News today, MLK weekend packed with cool things to do. Stay tuned for a look at events across the region. Helping the community understand the evolving threats to Chincoteague. That was the goal of a presentation at the Town Community Center Thursday night. Dr. Christopher Hine with the Virginia Institute of Marine Science detailed how changes to Assateague Island widen the inlet, creating the possibility for stronger waves to strike against the shore, increasing erosion. Mayor Denise Bowden says even before seeing the study, people on Chincoteague have been experiencing this change for years.
Back to about 15 years ago, it was probably about 10 feet from the shoreline, and now it's probably 60, 70 feet from the shoreline. And so that amount of time, we've washed away that much. And it's all because of the energy that's coming in there. We're not asking for, to stop the ocean. We're asking for something to help us stop the energy flow.
Town leaders say they plan to share the recorded presentation with the state and federal lawmakers at advocacy for this ongoing issue.
A frigid Friday morning on Delmarva as we take a live look into Lewis. We're seeing starry skies there, 23 degrees, plenty of sunshine expected across the peninsula this afternoon. We'll get up to 33 by around noon across Ocean City, Fenwick Island, on our way to highs in the upper 30s across that portion of the peninsula. Wall-to-wall sunshine through Lewis after this frigid start in Rehoboth, and will slowly begin to thaw out through the afternoon. Winds will push more out of the southwest into the afternoon, into the evening. We're at the freezing mark in Cambridge by around lunchtime, 33 in through Crisfield under mostly sunny skies. Congratulations to Sharon Vitry of Selbyville, Delaware on winning an umbrella from Coast TV. I'll have the latest on the potential snow over the weekend coming up in our next half hour.
Thank you, Chris. Well, new this morning, it's another winter weekend on the coast, but there's no shortage of cool things to do even in the off season.
Coast TV's Christina Durabertas highlights the annual celebrations plus some new events happening this weekend.
It is Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and there are lots of ways to honor the civil rights hero. One event doubles as a celebration of rhythm and blues. Music and history will all fill the Ocean City Convention Center for Dreamfest. Also at Epworth United Methodist Church in Rehoboth, a night of music honoring Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's happening Friday at 7 p.m. The celebration features soul, gospel, and classic hits, and our Paul Williams is emceeing the event. In Lewis, you can get hands-on at a cake decorating workshop at the Lewis Public Library. That's Saturday starting at 1:30. You'll learn basics like frosting and piping and go home with your own creation. In South Bethany, Misaki Sushi is hosting a roll your own sushi class. That's Saturday at 5. You'll learn how to make 2 rolls with ingredients and sake included. And in downtown Dover, it's Dover Winterfest this weekend. There's going to be food vendors, art, culture, even live ice sculpting. Just visit CoastTV.com and click on Cool Things to Do for event tickets, details, and more.
Now on Coast TV News.
Snow, ice, and bitter cold. A look at the storm triggering whiteouts and pileups on major highways in the Northeast.
It's a frigid start to our Friday. Wind chills are in the single digits and teens, tracking beautiful sunshine. All eyes on the weekend with the threat of snow. The latest next.
Keeping watch on County Council, how a local group is helping Sussex County locals stay informed.
Fees and furry friends. Rehoboth Beach commissioners are set to review budget proposals and the time frame for when dogs are allowed on the beach.
This is Coast TV News Today.
Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Grace Eckerly.
Good morning, I'm Elisa Weber. Thank you for being up with us on this Friday morning.
Yes, and Elisa, it's Friday. It's January 16th, 2026. A lot of people, though, wish that it was 2016.
That is a big trend going on right now. People posting their throwback pictures to 2016. Apparently, a lot of people really loved the year 2016.
Yes.
This is the end of my freshman year of high school,
right?
Beginning of sophomore year.
I kind of feel like it's a good
I don't really remember it
though. Ish, right? I think the peak time is maybe if you were in college.
In
if you talk
college
to
is
Matt
what I'm
Pensick,
seeing
he'll
a
say
lot.
that's when he was in college.
Well,
Lies.
for 2016, for us Cleveland Cavaliers fans, was when we won the NBA Finals.
Was it? So it was a great year.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Yes.
I think I don't even know if I knew how to do long division in that year. But what are you going to do?
Yes.
You know who it was a big year for, besides the Cleveland Cavaliers,
Yes.
was Chris. Chris, we got this photo of you in 2016 graduating college. How nice is that?
Thank you. I finally graduated after it took me a little longer than I had planned, but yeah, finally put an end to that college career there in 2016. Boy, I tell you what, it's a frigid start out there this morning. You're going to feel that shock stepping out the door this morning as we take a live look in through Lewis. We're at 23 degrees, clear skies across the area. We're at 22 in Long Neck, 22 in Milford, 23 in Georgetown at this hour. But boy, we have seen some bitter wind chills. Feels like 11 in Rehoboth, 12 in Georgetown, and it feels like 10 in Harrington. We're continuing to see winds out of the west-northwest, gusting to 27 Indian River Inlet, 24 in Georgetown, and we're gusting to 21 in Salisbury. So we're seeing clear skies across the area, and we're in for a beautiful day as far as the lack of precipitation goes. We're going to see plenty of sunshine through the day. This area of low pressure across Minnesota and portions of Wisconsin, that's going to swing through the east tomorrow and bring the ever so slightest chance of a shower throughout the day tomorrow through the middle part of the day. But everyone's focusing their attention on Sunday for that threat of some snow as we deal with a coastal low that's going to be tracking off to our east. So for the day today, plenty of sunshine. We're going to get those temperatures up into the mid to upper 30s across the area. As we get into the afternoon, we'll see more of a southwest wind kick in, so that'll help moderate the wind chill a bit through the afternoon. We will talk about the latest on the snow, and another Arctic blast is coming early next week. I'll have more on that here a little bit later on the newscast.
Thank you, Chris. And our top story this morning is the brutal cold Chris just mentioned. Well, a dangerous snowstorm is ripping across the northeast, causing whiteout conditions and pileups on highways. Police in Indiana responded to a 30-vehicle pileup that sent tractor trailers driving off the road, while people in Michigan are now digging out for more than 16 inches of snow, totally obscuring sidewalks and roads.
Delaware Senate President Pro Tempore Dave Sokola announced he will not seek re-election this year, ending a legislative career that began in 1990. Sokola is currently the longest-serving member of the Delaware General Assembly. He cited education reform, civil rights, and gun safety among his accomplishments. Sokola said his remaining priorities include updating Delaware's school funding formula and addressing health care and energy costs before the legislative session ends. That's on June 30th. Delaware Democratic leaders praised his decades of steady leadership and his lasting impact on the state.
Delaware Governor Matt Myers saying in part, quote, Senator Dave Sokola is a leader whose steady presence and thoughtful approach have helped shape public service in our state for a generation. He leads with heart as much as principle, end quote.
Happening today, fee and dog season changes are possible in Rehoboth Beach. First, commissioners are set to discuss the draft budget for the fiscal year 2027. That could include changes to certain court fees. City leaders will gather at a special budget meeting. That's at 9 a.m. to discuss. A proposed ordinance is expected to be presented at the commissioners' regular meeting at 2 p.m. And according to the possible changes, dogs would be allowed on the beach from September 16th through May 14th. Now that's opposed to the current October 1st through April 30th dog beach season.
A group called Eyes on County Council held an informational meeting Thursday for new members. This organization sends volunteers to county council meetings to condense the information into a weekly digest for people who live in Sussex County to use to catch up with what was discussed if they could not attend. With big decisions made over developments such as Atlantic Fields, the organization says this helps people engage with county politics. People interested in attending county council to write notes for the digest can visit the Sussex Preservation Coalition website.
Federal prosecutors secured indictments against 20 people accused of rigging college basketball games in America and pro hoops contests in China. And according to court document papers unsealed on Pennsylvania on Thursday.
Reed Binion shows us how prosecutors are alleging the scheme operated.
We allege an extensive international criminal conspiracy.
Federal prosecutors on Thursday announcing criminal charges against more than 24 people in an alleged game rigging scheme involving college basketball.
A transnational criminal scheme to fix NCAA Division I men's basketball games, as well as Professional Chinese Basketball Association games.
The Justice Department detailing what they described as a massive operation.
An extensive international criminal conspiracy of NCAA players, alumni, and professional bettors who fixed games across the country.
According to court documents, it all started in 2022 with game fixing in the Chinese Basketball Association. The fixers would bet on the games from the U.S. Prosecutors say they expanded the scheme to Division I college basketball games in the 2023-2024 season, allegedly recruiting players nationwide to manipulate games, paying them $10,000 to $30,000 per game to underperform. The fixers placed millions of dollars in wagers against those teams, and prosecutors say the players who allegedly took part in the scheme were paid hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Imperils the integrity of sport itself. And when that happens, the Department of Justice will step in to protect what is a sacred institution of American life.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
We have a lot more news to get to in this final half hour. Don't go anywhere.
Coming up, plans for Seaford Hotel, how the deteriorating building could be saved.
And local team is trying to stay undefeated in basketball. Find out how they fared Thursday night in a rivalry matchup.
Plus, Salisbury Zoo Forum, when zoo leaders expect to discuss future plans with the community. Stay with us on CoastTV News today.
This Friday morning is treating you well. Del Marva, as we take a live look into Laurel. Starry clear skies there as that sun begins to rise. Coming in at 7:18 this morning. We are at 24 degrees in Laurel, 23 in Lewis, but the wind chills have been stuck in the low teens through the morning. We're at 12. Feels like in Harrington, 13 in Georgetown, and it feels like 12 in Bethany Beach as the winds continue. We've seen gusts upwards of 20, 25 miles an hour throughout the morning. We'll see more of a southwest wind kick in throughout the afternoon. Now we're going to continue to see plenty of sunshine through the morning and into the afternoon, so we'll slowly begin to thaw out this morning from feeling like 8 to 14 at the bus stop to 37 on the way home under mostly sunny skies. You can get your latest forecast by calling our First Alert Weather phone. I'll have the latest on potential for snow over the weekend and another round of Arctic air early next week.
Thank you, Chris. New this morning, the Salisbury Zoo is inviting the community to help shape its future during a public forum. Organizers say the meeting will focus on recent updates at the zoo, future plans, and the accreditation process with the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, along with ongoing education and conservation efforts. That's all taking place tonight at 6 p.m. at Parkside High School.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
Good morning, Delmarva. The Salisbury rivalry games continued on Thursday night. Waihi looking to stay perfect on the season. J&B trying to play a little spoiler. We started about 30 seconds into the game. DeMar Brunson kicks out to Vic Collins. He knocks down the three. It's a 3-0 ball game. Then less than a minute to go in the first. The freshman Kyan Tillman cans the triple. Waihi led 23-16 at the end of the first. We go to the second, and Camden Water is going to get the offensive board and the putback plus the foul to make it 25-21. After the Tribe would tie the game up, Brian Price on the other end, he knocks down a three to give J&B a 31-28 lead. They led 39-33 at the end of the first half. Then we start in the third quarter. Kyler Dickerson, the spin, the jumper. That's a nice shot. 47-35, J&B leads. Then in the corner, Tillman again to give J&B a 15-point lead. Then with another 2 minutes to go in the third, J&B, they're pouring it on. Cam Sotapur finds Jaden Wallace under the bucket to make it a 58-47 ball game. We head to the fourth. Tyson Hayward would start to cook. He's open in the corner. You can't do that. 58-51. J&B's lead is just 7. And then Brunson gets a huge steal and then finds Hayward. Get contact and the foul. 60-59. J&B leads. Then the Tribe force a turnover. but Vic Collins, he gets met at the rim, and then the Clippers are going the other way. Jaden Wallace finishes inside, 66-51. J&B would lead at that point, and they would go on to win 71-65. That'll do it for sports. Have a great day, everybody.
And coming up tonight on DSN, your game of the night at 8:30, UMES takes on Coppin State in women's basketball. Then you can catch the final score at 10:30. You can watch that game on DSN Plus along with these exclusives. 5:30, Snow Hill visits Pocomoke in boys basketball. 6 o'clock, Worcester Prep battles Salisbury Christian in boys basketball. 6:30, Cape Henlopen hosts Milford in boys basketball. Also at 6:30, Cesar Rodney faces Smyrna in boys basketball.
If you're having a rough week, cheer up with a weekly dose of local good news from Coast TV with personal features, fun things to do each weekend, and more. You can sign up now for free at coasttv.com/sign up to get your weekly dose of joy directly to your inbox on Friday. And here's what you can look forward to this afternoon on Coast Life at 4 p.m.
Happy Friday, Coastal Delmarva. If you join us today at 4 on Coast Life, here is what's coming your way. We've got our first ever Judge Charlie. That's right, court is now in session, and we've got a pizza problem to settle. Also, looking ahead to Sunday, will it, won't it, could there be snow? We're going to check in with our chief meteorologist, Paul Williams, as well to get some more details on that. And of course, what's new at the theater with our friends at the Possum Point Players. All of that and more is happening today at 4 on Coast Life. We'll see you then.
Well, bundle up, stepping out the door this morning. We are dealing with some bitter wind chills, and those wind chills are anywhere between about 8 to 14 this morning. 22 degrees at the bus stop, plenty of sunshine. We'll get up into the mid to upper 30s. We are tracking the front of snow over the weekend. I'll have the latest next.
It's now 6:49 a.m. as we're taking a live look out into Laurel. Chris, I'm not a betting woman, but if I was, I'd be betting on this sunrise reveal of the day. Chris, this is gorgeous. Almost looks like the atomic bomb, but I digress.
Yeah, we have plenty of sunshine, and they're going to slowly thaw us out after this bitterly cold start we're experiencing across the area. This is clear skies into Cambridge. We are at 24 degrees, so we're all in the 20s this morning from the bay to the ocean. And the other thing is we're very frigid as far as the wind chills are concerned. 23 right now, temperature in Long Neck. We're at 23 in Salisbury, 25 in Lewis. And boy, we've had some bitter wind chills this morning. Feels like 10 in Harrington, 12 in Georgetown. Winds will continue to gust anywhere between about 20 to 25 through the west through the morning. And then we're going to see those winds shift out of the southwest through the afternoon. We have a gale warning up through 10 a.m. this morning. Small craft advisory up through the bay. That runs through 4 o'clock on Saturday. So we're continuing to see those clear skies, and we're in for a really nice day. On the below average side, we're tracking this area of low pressure across the upper Great Lakes region. That's going to swing through the area tomorrow, bringing us a brief round of showers through midday, and then all eyes focus on the coast as we deal with a potential round of some light snow in through Sunday night. Sunny skies today. We're getting up to 36 in Lewis, 37 in Seaford. Wouldn't surprise me to see a few 40s on the board there across portions of the eastern shore as we go into the afternoon. Now, clouds will be on the increase through the overnight, and with a southwest wind and increasing clouds, that's going to prevent the temperatures from really dropping off all that much into early Saturday morning. As we get into Saturday afternoon, temperatures are in the lower 40s, so we're dealing with just primarily showers across the area. Brief period between about, say, 11 and 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If you are traveling further to the north into Newcastle County up through southeastern Pennsylvania, New Jersey, could be dealing with some light snow briefly there. As we go in through the day today, we're going to see those winds out of the west, anywhere between about 20, 25 miles an hour. Then that southwest wind kicks in into Saturday, bumping us up to 47. In fact, some areas around 50 degrees across the eastern shore as we go into Saturday. Then as we go into Sunday, that area of low pressure off the southeast coast will kick offshore. The bulk of the precipitation should remain offshore, but we're going to be on the northwest fringe of this precipitation shield, so we expect a round of some light snow to break out after about 2, 3 o'clock on Sunday, and then persist into at least the early part of Sunday evening before things wind down. We're looking at a general coating to an inch for most of the Delaware coast through the mid-shore on points north, and then about an inch to as much as 2 inches from Ocean City on through Chickateague. We're looking at, well, another round of Arctic air into early next week as this relentless streak of Arctic air continues. 27 for a high into Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, and then we'll rebound back into the 40s through the middle part of next week. Grace.
Thank you, Chris. Sounds pretty chilly. A Seaford hotel slated for demolition may be extending its stay. This, as Seaford Inn's property owner says, there's a new plan to revitalize the old hotel. The building has been slowly falling apart ever since it closed down in 2020. Seaford's council voted to demolish it back in October, but now the owner says he's selling it. According to the current owner, Sony Patel, the new owners have a plan to put revitalization on the property, and they would save the city $450,000 on demolition costs.
Seaford needs to have beautiful things to look at, and to draw people into Seaford. The water would be just the perfect spot. Overlooking the water there would be wonderful.
It's a nice sentiment. Seaford's mayor says the council voted to give the new owner 60 days to decide on their plans. The mayor says they have until mid-March to demonstrate progress, and if not, then the city may have to move forward with that demolition. And the time's now 6:53 a.m. Lisa, time to check in with our coastal and adoptable pet of the day.
Yes, today's coastal pet of the day is coming to us from the Brandywine Valley SPCA, as it does every Friday. On your screen right now is Joy. Joy is a little shy at times, but don't let that stop you from letting her bring joy to your heart like she has to the staff and volunteers. And if you want to adopt Joy or Zuzu from our last hour, you can head over to the Brandywine Valley SPCA.
Oh, Joy looks like a great addition to any home. And we want to see more of your pets on Delmarva, or if you adopt Joy or Zuzu, want to send us a photo and tell us what makes your pets so special. If you take a look at your screen now,
you can scan that QR code at the top of your screen to submit your furry friend to Coast TV News. Then watch weekdays from 5 to 7 a.m. to see all the pets we feature. Well, we're going to take another look at our very cold Friday forecast.
Unfortunately, the weather is not going to be your favorite, Elisa.
Yes, bitterly cold wind chills greeting us this morning. Plenty of sunshine through the afternoon. We'll get up to 37 degrees, watching for a brief round of showers midday tomorrow. But then all eyes are going to be on the coast for Sunday for a brief period of snow late in the day through the evening. And then another blast of Arctic air arrives into early next week, with temperatures struggling to get out of the 20s by Tuesday.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for joining us here for Coast TV News Today.
And the Today Show is coming up right after this at 7 a.m.
Then we'll be back for Coast TV News midday at 11.
And for even more news and coverage that you can count on, download our WRTE Coast TV News and weather apps, and have a great weekend.